What's up, guys? Welcome back to CL Banter 2.0. First episode, bringing it back from when Matt and George created it. Our first guest on CL Banter, we got some legends, 2017 collegians. We got Alec and Zoe Plotkin. She did her makeup for this. She's very prepared. Welcome to the show.
Welcome. All right, David, what's our first topic?
I think our first topic, fresh on everyone's mind, color war. Two of the biggest general favorites in camp both got snubbed. Ridiculous. Like, thoughts on how the color war went and your leadership roles since you weren't general.
Zoe, I'll let you go first.
Me? All right. No, I thought it was a pretty good war. I mean, yes, the generals were a bit of a surprise to some people, but I think that when that's the case, it's always a good war. I was obviously sad I wasn't on Lec's team, but happy to fight for RP, and yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I would say obviously it was annoying hearing from campers all summer how much they thought I was gonna get it. And then even once the color broke, I had little kids in lower camp asking me to turn around on day 2 of color war because they wanted to see what number was on my back. They literally did not understand that I wasn't general. And it was just it was hard for me seeing how much kids that I've barely even met, I'm an upper camp group leader, seeing those lower campers care about me was I don't know, it was hard. I feel like I let them down to some extent, but for the actual war itself, I had a great time. Being a 2 is so much fun. Being general, you have to, it's on you to make sure your team cleans up the dining hall and is doing well in bunk cleanup, and you have to show up to song and cheer. Being a 2 is just so much fun. You do pretty much whatever you want. You go where you feel like you're the most useful. I was able to coach every one of the lower senior boys events. I was with my kids the entire time. I coached pretty much any varsity event I wanted. Varsity A ball might have been my highlight of color war. It was so much fun. Playing whatever events I want. I was at the pit pretty much whenever I wanted. That entire trifecta night. Just being a 2 is awesome.
And you had a loaded team with you too.
We did have a loaded roper.
Squad.
That was a crazy night. We had 4 great collegians. Paya's a great coach. Ton of alumni. Man, just sneak Chike in there with us. It was a great
night.
That
was there might be some people who I'm not opposed to it. I was surprised to see Chike in there. It was awesome though. He was
that was okay. I'll tell you Momo was going through kicking out everyone, sending them the song and cheer. And I turned to Piaz. I'm we're still drilling. If someone tears their ACL in this drill right now, who are we putting in the pit? Zeif or Ben, who knows it better? And the collegians and Piaz agreed. We love Zeif and we were happy to have Zeif still with us the whole night. And he was great for everything you wanted the bitch to do. But Ben just knew it. Ben was ready to go and we had to have him with us. And, I was happy to he's a kid who really knows what's going on and deserves to get to see the ins and outs of rope burn and hear those speeches and be with us throughout the entire night, see the process. You guys obviously know the clothes is just seeing those clothes in the bucket. Wow.
Yeah.
It really gets the juices flowing.
Clothes had me so much more scared. I was way more scared in 2017 to put on those cold clothes than to touch an actual fire. I put my hands in.
I know,
no
but
problem.
this year
had me in tears.
This year they added I don't know if it's new or something. The pits requested to get the bucket of water poured on them.
Oh, yeah, that was fun.
That is kind of new. I don't know.
That was hype.
That was super doggy.
Didn't we just look at Brandon and Kevin and we're should we dump this on them?
Yeah. We were yeah, let's do it.
Yeah, then you guys did it and
you can't
then Charlie copied
water
it.
on people.
Yeah,
it wasn't my idea whatsoever. It wasn't even Dallon's idea. It was just we saw once everyone was all wet and sopping, it was just all this water needs to get out of the buckets and onto people's bodies immediately. Both teams we weren't gonna let Black have it and
you could have.
Once they dumped, we had to dump. We had to look just as tough, just as wet.
That's fair.
I mean, by the way, I don't know if I sound like an old head here, trying to defend my rope burn, but I have the rope from 2021 and 2022, and the rope this year was definitely barely thinner. And
Yeah,
I don't know.
100%.
Dave Bergen does not agree with that, but I think it was thinner. I
I
don't
thought it
know.
was.
I could compare. I have 3 ropes sitting on my shelf,
It felt
2017,
thinner.
19, and this year.
Definitely thinner.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
can't.
I mean,
thought it was gonna be,
I'm willing to just buy that because then it makes like my color war time and the rest of the time it's just like a little bit better. So we can
I
go
still don't
with it.
understand how Momo burned down the rope in 5 minutes. I mean,
That's just like he's playing a different sport. Like none of us, with the
right. That's
the
like
amount of,
comparing
the amount of
LeBron
security and
like
rules
super
about
good.
like time you can collect, time you can be out doing stuff. Like, Momo also, I can't speak for certain, but like who were the admin like going through like checking everyone's wood?
There
doing
was
stuff,
none.
like Momo's like, yeah, like Momo, he's the admin checking now, and because he knows all the tricks, like he knows everything. He was in there himself, so he knows what to look for, and he knows like, this was cut, this is like birch, this is like whatever. He knows what can't fly and like just takes it. So like teams have to work harder now at collection. Like must have been so much easier back then.
When we were like first starting out as campers, I remember being like super little, and they were not regulating the times that Braves or Scouts or Chiefs could like go get wood. It was like kind of a
Well, when we were younger, also like you could pretty much like take anything from the woods. Like I don't remember like I remember when we were like sort of subs and lowers, they started like spray painting wood, like confiscated wood. They would like spray paint it with like orange or white. And that was like news to me. We were like just becoming upper campers. We were like, what? We've never seen this before. Like rope burn, just a free for all.
Yeah.
I don't know what happened this year, but someone on Orange brought back an absolute. I don't know, Alec, if you remember, there was like a literal tree trunk with like.
It was Kang and maybe Brandon. I know the exact piece of wood you're talking about. They pull up with, they're like, yo, this would be great for our log cabin. And then we just like look at it and like, obviously not only is it way too big for a log cabin, I'm standing next to Noam. I'm like, Noam, pick this up. And like Noam is no prayer. Like that thing's like,
Yeah,
like 80 plus pounds. Like
it had
think
like a rate, like a
it
diameter of
crushed the
like
rest of the
3
cabin.
feet. That was a wild log. Man.
That's crazy. It's funny. That would be a whole like, there's obviously no way to like compile it over time. Like there's not film, but that would just be a hilarious like compilation of like funniest shit people have come out of the woods with, like thinking it's helpful.
Oh,
Like
dead body.
thinking like, yo, I found this great log. I found this
Dead
pole. And it's just like, I've seen kids come back before with like something just like 40 feet tall, like clearly cut, like so skinny, and they're just like, yo, like this is like massive, like.
Well, Dallin, you remember when what's his name? Jonas brought the huge pole, but it was just covered in
If it wasn't birch, that would have been the most elite pole I've ever.
but how did he not see like that it was covered in
No,
birch?
the funniest things are the things that like look like they should be good, but like they're just obviously covered in moss. Like kids come bring something in, it's like the right size, right shape. Like I found this, and you're just like, are we not both looking at it? It's
it's like already an ecosystem. Like there's already, it's like algae starting to grow on it. No, I'll go ahead.
Aiden
Yeah,
and Brilliant might be the funniest kids in camp when they're together, I swear.
Yeah, weren't they supposed to have a little fight? That never
The way
happened.
They were
the way
supposed to
bicker-
box and they never did it.
The way they bicker is just like hilarious.
Yeah,
Gas Clan needs their own like reality TV show.
I know.
Keeping
Gas
up with
Clan-
Gas Clan.
Gas Clan is what was their first year? Because that was a very like fascinating.
It was when I was
16. or
2016.
when I was an upper collegian. Yeah, 2016. sounds right.
2016.
I mean, like they've like expanded like bacteria. They're like there's like 50 of them now.
I ran into one
So
I ran
many.
into one tonight.
Which one?
Yeah.
They just roam Florida.
They honestly do.
They're just peak Florida. It's crazy.
And then they have the shirts with Gas Gang.
Would not have thought this was a
Gas
CL
Gang.
banter topic, but a Lennox like thing that I just need to get off my chest is the craziest things to me is that Wilder Finkel is not from Florida. Like
Yeah,
you just
honestly.
look at Wilder, like if you look at how he looks and you like speak to him, see how he acts, like the things he's interested in. Like, of course, he's like in color war, he just gets in like the relay, like where you need the best kid from every group to swim. Like, of course, he hops in and is an absolute fish. Like, wow, they're not be. He's like Floridian, except the kid just lives in Long Island.
Yeah. Hey, which kids can we think of that are just from the most like wrong or like obscure places?
There's definitely a few.
I mean,
Kang
he was from Denver. Oh, Kang.
Kang from
Kang in
Idaho.
Idaho. Well, I mean, he moved there, but
He's
anyone
like
in Idaho just
he's
seems
like
like they're in the
so
wrong
wasted in
place.
Idaho. Like
I know.
put Kang in a better state.
And then he's always trying to convince me like, no, you have no idea. Boise's a great city. Boise's the place to be.
Oh yeah.
We used to be so embarrassed. We would call him potatoes because that's where
Yeah.
I love Kang.
Yeah.
He's wasted in Idaho.
He's
Wasted
wasted.
talent.
All his city potential wasted on a potato.
Speaking of the Kangs, what an incident for AK at the Hatchet Hunt.
Oh,
Farm. Where did you find this hatchet?
bro, I'm annoyed
No.
with Alec because he should have found that hatchet. Like, there's no reason that hatchet hunt went to the 11th clip.
Yeah, honestly.
Yeah, dude,
Well,
we had that in like 3.
It was weird. Like, so during like the chaos, like we send AK out to like, we send him to Gaga, and we like he comes back. We take. I don't know if people saw this. We take like these photos with Steph for the CLIG. It's like me, my brother, Henry, Kang, AK. Like everyone's like posing for the cameras with the hatchet. Like we found it. Like Steph's ready to post on the story. And then obviously, like, you know, the mood changes. We like come back to the middle and just like, you know, we find out what it is. And Ravitz comes up to me. He's like, I walked up to Mike Grandis like while you were taking the photos and whatever, and was like that Lady Gaga clue. I forget what it was. It was like Stephanie G or something, clue 3, yeah. Lady Gaga. He's like, that gave it away. And Grandis just like rolled his eyes at him. And so Ravitz like pretty much was just like, no matter what you do, keep sending all your runners down there. Like Grandis told me like he assumed it was that Gaga. So we just sent like all our runners the rest of the way down there, and like whatever happened, like you got the clue 11, like whatever. Like we just kept sending runners in that direction, like literally like rock wall, gymnastics, inside the Gaga pits, around the Gaga fence.
How did you not think the toilets? Like
I don't need to name drop everyone. Like a lot of people heard me say who it is. I don't need to name drop the girl and expose on this, but I told an upper camp girl on clue 7, I was like, go run past gymnastics and go search down to like the grass to the right. And she's like, where is that? Like, I don't understand. I'm just like, run laps around the Moss Park bathroom. Like, just run circles around that bathroom until you find that hatchet. Come back in 1 minute. And like, I said that clue 7. I didn't think I had to check there. Like, I didn't like specifically send runners there after clue 7. Like after clue 8, then we lost Yoav during clue 8. So we didn't have clue 9 runners. And then the next clue, the Sergio Maximus clue, we were just like, yo, like go look to wide left of that crossbar, like go into Moss Park and just scavenge like the Moss Park side of that like wall, because we had been searching the rope side, the Gaga side. Clue 10, they said like Maximus, whatever. Somehow Black sends their runner to Sergio's house.
That was crazy.
You miss a PK wide left, like it was so obvious. Like we had so many chances, and Hempy should have found that hatchet too. Tripp like ran into him on clue 11, like he was the judge there, and Hempy kind of ran into him, and Hempy told me he was still the first one there. Like Hempy said they all 4 kind of got there at the same time, but Hempy was like, if there was going to be somewhere visible where it wasn't visible, it was like tucked between like the cement and the building, but like if it was going to be somewhere visible, like Hempy would have snagged it first. Like I'm tight. That should have been Hempy's hatchet. I mean, I was feeling so good for both Ravitz and Hemp. Like we saved them both for that clue. I told Ravitz after he burned, like before rope burn, I asked Ravitz if he wanted to run, and he was like, I don't really care. I'm focused on burning down the rope, which is like the right answer. But then afterwards, I was like, you got to like complete this, like go be EVB, like be Mr. Collegian, like find me this hatchet. But Hempy also was so motivated, so locked in. Like, I don't know if you guys saw me, I was shirtless on clue 11 of the hatchet hunt. I took off my shirt, I put it on Hempy's back. It's like, Hempy, like bring me back this thing. Like I was so ready for our orange runners. We knew where it was.
So, yeah, that was wild.
Like, at the same time, let that be like the part of color war that I like. Still a very memorable hatchet hunt. Like I was saying to AK, like a couple days after the war, like say what you want, like about the emotional roller coaster you had that night and like being associated with like Lennox infamy, but like you're still associated with Lennox history. Everyone's gonna remember the AK Hatchet Hunt. Like that's like it's cool that you're tied to that. I shouted him out.
Remember it when he finds a real hatchet one day.
Yeah, that's a crazy
Yeah.
redemption. AK finds a hatchet in like 2026.
Every year they better send him. He's gonna find it.
I think the difference in the hatchet hunt was Benro running practically naked. It just gave him that extra speed boost.
Facts.
Also, it's been like quite a few years where so many like runners have been lost because like the hatchet has been pretty close to the campfire area recent years.
Yeah, fast.
Yeah, well, I mean, you can make a whole case about like, is it like fair to put the hatchet somewhere that a Brave couldn't get back in 3 minutes? Like, I would not, even if like someone told me like I watched the judges hide it before hatchet on, it's right in this spot. Go send your runner, clue 1. Like, I would not go send a Brave to go get it. I either would go like send like a junior, which would be like super sus, and I would expect Black to follow us. And like, why am I not sending a Brave on the first clue? Or like I would just wait until clue 3 and send like Zach Chaikin. Like, I would not go trust a Brave or scout to go get the hatchet all the way out there, even if we knew it was there.
I think it's like a better hatchet hunt when like it's kind of cutting it close on time and you don't know. I don't know.
I've heard this strategy
it's
floating
totally fair
around.
game. It's also like, you know, you have to use like the entire like hatchet hunt rule book to your advantage. Like, I told my kids, like, you go hide the hatchet under the steps of the CB if you even think you're going to be within like 10 seconds of not getting back in time. Like, don't take any chances. You hide it there, and then the next runner, we're going to send you to like a fake spot, see if you're getting tailed, and then you'll turn back, get the hatchet, and go. Like, we have
There's
like
this strategy I'm hearing where I don't know who told me, but like you just like send a kid out and he just doesn't ever come back, and he just looks for the hatchet, and all you're gonna get is the penalty of like no runner the next round, but like
Also,
the person never comes back and just looks for the hatchet.
It depends when you deploy that. Like realistically, if you give a kid, like if you send a kid to like Moss, just like on clue like 4, thinking it's at Moss, but like you don't know where it is, and it was like, go find me the hatchet. Like, it would take them like hours of clueless, like, you know, or maybe it wouldn't, depending on luck of where it is, but like, think of like every spot in camp. It's a needle in a haystack. Like, they'd send the judges out or just rule the runner ineligible at some point and make an announcement on the PA. Like, I feel like they'd adjust. They wouldn't just take that. Like, I don't know. There would be, you could probably get away with an extra minute, 2 or 3 of like extra searching during all the chaos. But like,
I'm sure they would like send a rescue team.
The odds that just like you're like running around like one side of CL with your flashlight, like not like nowhere near the campfire area for like 3 minutes, and you find the hatchet just off that, is pretty slim.
No, for like you just got to stay out there for like an hour.
But I don't think that they would just like I don't think they would like I think if you were out for an hour and like they were like pause looking for you or whatever, they would also then like have their judges, like once they had you back, they'd have the judges like recheck the spot, make sure the hatchet's where it should be. Like, I don't think they'd let shenanigans.
Yeah.
That'd be interesting.
That'd be crazy.
Yeah.
Who's got to do it? Send like Ryan Bergen out for an hour.
No, the craziest thing that I've thought of is what if you find the hatchet like far away and you're not going to make it back in time, but the other team sees you. Like, you can't hide the hatchet under like a rock or something. Like, the other team sees you with the hatchet.
Oh, guy plays like defense
out of sight. Like, what's your move?
Oh, that's just good. You just hold the person that, like, if you find the hatchet with like 30 seconds left and you're far away, and like you're the guy who didn't find it, you could like just play
keep looking at them. You just won't leave them. Like, you just like beg. Like, that gets interesting because it's like there's no real rules on what you can and can't do with the hidden hatchet. I probably would start thinking like, I'm gonna put it like, if I had Benro running for me and I'm Black, I would be like, I have the tallest kid in it. I'm just gonna go put it on top of a bunk and make them like get up or something like that. Like, right. I don't know what I'd like. That's weird though.
What if you just held on to it until you like ran like you came close to the campfire area and you come in through where your team is on whatever side, and then you just stash it there.
That's a good idea. But then they could just send their runners to that side.
Yeah, but like
No,
that,
you can send your runners. Yeah, exactly. But
okay, but
both
if
runners
they're
can head out the
dark,
same
I
exit.
would kill my light. I'd kill my light and then chuck it somewhere in my direction, like where they can't see. Because at some point, like if their light isn't on you, they can't really see where you throw it.
Yeah, facts.
And then just I don't know. That's a trick. That's never happened, has it?
I don't know. I mean,
I don't know. I mean, the
there's
other
some crazy
well,
stories, but
yeah. I mean, the other thing is they now have judges on the spot to like make sure like there's no like stuff going on that shouldn't go on. But like, how could judges like call something like you're not doing anything wrong?
they
Like
can
you're just
do.
watching them with the hatchet, and if they're not going to make it back on time, it's still like finding the hatchet means nothing if you can't get it back on time. Like
Yeah,
it's still
facts.
just a live hatchet. Like that would be totally unfair for the judges to interfere.
yeah, it's a good point.
Do you guys ever like walk around camp and just like post up in a spot and you're like, I wonder what was happening in this spot like 37 years ago?
Yes.
Yeah.
Like, what was
Yeah.
going
Wait,
on?
do you guys walk around camp? Wait, before we go to that one, do you guys walk around camp and see like over your years at camp, have you seen a spot and been like, why have they not hit a hatchet here? Like as I've hatchet in my
I mean,
mind.
you talked about that tree with the.
I talked about, yeah, Charlie
Yeah.
knows. I went before Hatchet Hunt, like before actually it was like while we were eating our park. I told Noam because I knew he was running. I was like, I just need to show you this. Like, there's obviously like really no chance that like I'm just gonna call out the exact spot in camp where the hatchet is, like before the hunt. But like I've just always in my 13 years as a camper walked past this like spot. It's like a tree when you're like walking back from gymnastics, like you're walking like past gymnastics and then you're walking like up sort of towards cam. And on that like little right, like that little right turn you make like past gymnastics up toward cam, there's just like a tree with an arch. And like I brought Noam to that spot. It was just like, if I send you out toward Cameron Wallace tonight, like look like at the tree and just see if it's there. Like, I don't know. I think it's there. Obviously, I was wrong. Like, I can't just pick a spot, but I've always thought about that tree and like could not have lived with myself if it was somehow there and I didn't tell someone on my team. Like, that's a spot I've had in mind. Like, if you guys just had like this crack or something like stares at you funny.
Yeah. Wait, but David. Wait, what was your question, David? Like a place.
Like,
Like-
you're standing on center court of like Laker, and you're like, what was going on here 37 years ago?
I don't know if I've ever been on Lakers, standing in center court of Lakers. Can we talk about Lakers' new colors? Those are, I don't know.
Very
Yeah.
vibrant.
Can we talk about
think-
how they redid senior except they just didn't?
But when did they redo?
They redo senior.
When did they
every year.
redo senior?
They
All
just
they
like
did was
Never
During
redo it.
orientation, they redo senior during
It's like
orientation every
running
single
wild.
year, and it's still got roots under like that bunk one corner.
Senior becomes like a valleys and like lakes and
My
mountains.
kids sprain their ankle in that every year.
When I was little, like there were tournaments on senior. Like when I was like 7th grade basketball, like Lennox hosts that, right? 7th grade basketball, I think. Like I'm pretty sure I was on the B team for that, and we played a game on senior. Like, can you imagine like subjecting other camps to like?
Yeah.
Remember
Run
one
on
year they put Pittsfield on Laker.
Yeah, I remember watching.
One year they had like Mackinac and Pontiac playing a consolation game on Laker, just having to listen to JJ.
Ah,
play
like
the horn.
obviously, we can say whatever about how level senior is, but like senior still holds as like the core in camp. Like
Yeah,
Yeah.
facts.
senior,
And so-
nothing can like playing tournaments on courts is one thing, but like no one would want to change senior to make it
Yeah.
a better basketball, whatever. Like everyone loves what senior provides for what it is. Senior's awesome.
Facts.
But
Yeah.
Dallin, to answer your question, one of my favorite spots to sit, and Lek knows this because we sit there a lot. Like I think we sit there a lot, quite a bit over the summer. But on senior, like the bleachers, the far left side, there's like one area that's shaded with like a
Yeah.
tree over it,
Yeah. That's
and
a
like
tough
on a hot day, like right there, and just like watch because you just see like
The
campfire area.
The bunk 4 side of the bleachers,
Yeah.
like
Yeah,
the
facts.
side, the Luke's cabin side of the bleachers, all the way down toward bunk 4, like at like
Yeah.
3 p.m. in the shade there, like or like during PMAIC, it's just like
That's the spot.
Yeah, that's facts.
That's the spot.
And then I mean, you on senior, you also Alec brought back the handball runs.
Yeah, handball.
we only got like
The
2.
handball.
I love playing handball.
handball was kind of like, I don't know what happened this year. Like with the, the handball AIC last year was, kind of like.
No, you're right.
Big on
Handball IIC
handball,
was
but-
gone. Dave like never really put handball on the schedule. Like we created a league for my group and then just didn't happen a lot. Like I don't know. I didn't push that hard for it. We were focused on Sava League and whatever
It's
football
so
league.
hard for
uh,
him.
It just felt like it was a quiet handball summer for CL, but we've got
Oh,
some
but
handball.
I don't know if handball is gonna bounce back. It seems like something that
it's
it seems like an outdoor ed that could just
No, you
disappear.
can't say that. I love handball.
I know. I don't want it to. It feels like the younger kids don't know the era of handball. Like
We need upper camp. We need senior court like handball runs then like that, like lower campers pop out to. Like they need to see like how hype handball is.
The
Yeah.
game color war was so soft. I remember like watching as a camper. The final score would be like 3-2. Austin Allman had 3 goals in the first 2 minutes.
I wish you guys alumni. I wish male boy counselors, whatever, could have handball during the war.
Yeah, but it'd be like
that would be
That'd
sick.
be
It'd be grimy, but it'd be so fun.
I know.
During the last 3 days of camp, once there was not much else to do, Dave finally gave us handball and
I saw you.
it was so hard to get
warm
that
up,
period
yeah.
started. It was after color war, it was on lazy day, no one wanted to play and do anything, so to get the period started, Keen and I stepped up as captains and we're just gonna play the whole game and drafted teams. And I got off a kind of slow start, but 10-12 minutes in the period, I was doing what you would expect me to do to lower and upper boys. It was funny, Matt Bai was looking at me wow, I didn't know you were like that. I was yeah, when I was a camper, I was fine, but you guys are uppers and I'm 21. Do not expect me to just do whatever I want.
I know. I love that that age, uppers and collegians and stuff. And even I don't know about you, but I can fully play in group periods.
I mean, I would say obviously, me versus lower boys, come on, I'm in the same group as Noam and Zilbs. I obviously can dominate them, but the collegians, for sure, collegians best 5 can give us just as good, probably a better fight.
Yeah.
Than the best 5.
Yeah.
Yeah, the leader
That's a
5
topic
in
for
basketball.
Something else.
The leader 5 basketball team was definitely, didn't have a great record.
We don't have good chemistry.
No, I think
chemistry with Logan and
Charlie,
Coco.
what's the actual best estimate we can get of scores of basketball games this summer with Ryan and I on one team and at least 2 or 3 leaders on the other team? 50 and 3, 50.
Yeah,
maybe
probably.
lose you guys.
I think there was a couple times. No, there was a couple times where we were up 20-17. 20.
Yeah, you guys would get
Yeah,
so
lost.
close, and then we would just find a way.
Yeah.
I had one game where I hit Benny on some bullshit long 3 that I knew he was gonna hit. I had one game where I hit a ridiculous floater to make it 20-20, and then Ryan cashed us for the win.
Ridiculous.
We were so gritty.
Yeah, I don't know. The leader 5 has it's a solid individual 5. But yeah, there's just sometimes. I mean, I don't know. It was tough. It was really most of the time me, Sam, and David, and we just pick up any 2 we could find.
Yeah.
And
You guys have realistically, Lior's your best player. If you
Yeah,
can get Lior, if you can get Lior locked in, that changes things. Gabe, you never really know what you're gonna get. I love Gabe, but in my opinion, he's so easy to guard. His game's so predictable. He just does head fakes and crossovers into pull-ups and obviously just likes going left. Dallin improved Down, your improvement this summer is needs to get talked about more. If you keep going on that arc, you're gonna be better than Benny and I next summer or 2 summers. You're gonna just be you're just gonna be a body who also knows how to play basketball.
The staff game was so fire. That's the most fun I've ever had playing basketball.
Dude, the staff
That was
game was I was totally out of my element in the staff game.
All the way down. That time when you get blocks that roll down from Cam towards the health cabin, you have one of those.
That was tough.
I missed that game because we had handball at the same time.
At least we covered the spread.
That's something I
Yeah,
don't
we
like.
did.
I wish.
No, collegian boys had basketball.
Yeah.
Was
No,
it-
girls.
Girls.
Including
Yeah,
girls.
I hate that. I wish like all the they know all the campers, like they have to kick them out of staff male ball. Like they know the campers would rather see that. Like one,
Yeah.
either just
Well,
like
remember they used to do
go-
it after. It used to
yeah,
be
or put them no, but they used to do it like I'm fine with it not being after because of the coverage issue and people would want to stay at the game and whatever. But like just do them different times.
Like
Like
do like half an
let's
hour.
start or there's so much time after dinner. How about instead of that song and cheer prep out of dinner, like 15 minutes, get to alumni at like 6:45, and then we'll play the staff game at like 7:55, 8. Like that game's not long.
right.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean that
I
varsity
don't know. I
boys
think,
match.
but also to be fair, like based on how staff male ball went this summer, I see why they're not like doing everything they can.
Yeah,
to
when
advertise on the
when
schedule.
Ryan squared up with Alex.
That picture
Yeah.
looks like he was staring me down.
Yeah, that was
I mean,
that was funny.
obviously that's a stupid move by Ryan and whatever, but like that's just like I hate that like sort of the way that was perceived by admin and everyone after the game was that game was so out of control and
What
like
happened?
setting such a bad example. But like that's just like at the end of the day, like there was some talking, there was some whatever, but like no one was gonna do anything like really stupid. Like it was just that's color war spirit, that's color war intensity. Both teams like really cared. We're leaving it out there in front of the kids. Like that's what's gotta happen.
Yeah, facts. That's facts.
All right, what do we